It's the Unhappy Hour.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles, to be specific. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Unhappy Hour here on the TNAM Radio Network here at the new AmericanMedia.com, because the old American media has failed us. Yes, my name's Brian Engelman. I am your host, as I have been for more than 5 years, more than half a decade. I've been getting on here and talking to you. I don't know, we're at like 630,000 video views on YouTube. So a few of you guys are paying attention. A few of you girls are paying attention. Everything else is paying attention. And I'll tell you what, world, you better be paying attention to those Cleveland Cavaliers. We've seen just about everything out of the Cavs this year. We've seen the Cavs look completely lost and selfish. We've seen the Cavs change head coaches. We've seen the Cavs try a whole bunch of different lineup changes. We've seen the Cavs dominant in the playoffs. We've seen the Cavs utterly baffled for 2 games in a row in We the North. We the North? That's what it's come to. We the North. I don't think that the French-Canadian translation is that off, where we couldn't add a few. We are the North. The North. We the North? I mean, that's a... Okay. But the Cavs, hey, just as confused as I am with the grammar floating around the Raptors' home turf, the Cavaliers looked almost equally confused with the game of basketball up there. But hey, luckily the Cleveland Cavaliers are up 3-2 now after completely blowing out Toronto in Cleveland. Take a 3-2 lead back into Toronto for one more. The home team has won every time they've played this year. And guess what? Look out in the West. The Thunder, yes, the Thunder, might end up winning this. They're up 3-1 over the Warriors. And if that happens, the Cavaliers would have home court advantage in the finals. Go figure. So anyway, who better to bring into the program than Zak Baris? Okay, maybe LeBron James into the program would be cool too. Maybe Mark Price. Who would be better? Well, it'd be better if he picked up his phone.
How you doing?
I'm living the dream, Zach. How you doing, sir?
I'm living the dream, too.
Yeah, tell me about your dream. What's new in your world? How are things?
Great, man, great. Another great win by the Cavs tonight.
Heck yeah, and I got your picture.
Everybody, you know, it's funny. Nobody had any confidence. It's unbelievable. You go to Cleveland this week, everybody's so down about the Cavs. People are coming to me today at the office. Think the Cavs have a shot at winning now? You think the Raptors are going to take it? I go, are you kidding me? Have you watched the Raptors on the road? Have they even won a game on the road in the playoffs?
Yeah, but you watch what they're doing, especially in Toronto. They looked really tough. They looked like a team that was the 2 seed.
Here's the thing, though. The Raptors were a team driven by Bismack Biyombo, Kyle Lowry, and DeMar DeRozan in Toronto last week. Jonas Valanciunas came back tonight. Yeah, it looks like a great addition on paper. I think it's totally threw up Biyombo. Tristan dominated him tonight at all points of the game. All points. And we win this game 3-4. Biyombo killed Tristan. Tristan looked like a non-factor. I'm sitting there going tonight, let's start chanting Thrive.
Right. Yeah, it did throw him off. But then again, you know what? I don't think that it was necessarily just the chemistry of playing Valanciunas tonight. I think the Cavs got in, had their come-to-Jesus moment. I think they looked at the game tape and said, they're out-hustling us, and if we're going to lose, it's not going to be because we're out-hustled. I saw a different player from Tristan out there.
The Cavaliers are a far superior basketball team than the freaking Raptors.
Yes.
I mean, it's not even close. I mean, the Cavaliers shouldn't even be in the same conversation as the Toronto Raptors. I'm being honest.
And the Raptors looked horrible against the Miami Heat, and they didn't look good in the series before that either, taking it to 7 games.
They almost lost to the Pacers, and they almost lost to the Heat.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not saying they're a bad basketball team. They're a great regular season team who struggles in the postseason. That's what they're notorious for.
Well, those 2 games, they looked very good. And that, but on the flip side, I'll say that the Cavs looked bad too.
Very good. The Cavaliers looked very, very bad. Looked like they just didn't care. And you know what? It's a different story now. We're writing a different story to this. It's, Toronto, don't forget the games Toronto's had in Cleveland. I mean, the Cavaliers have just demolished them.
Right.
And you know what? I'm not worried. If the Cavaliers win Game 6, they win Game 6, and I hope they do. I don't want to have to buy tickets to Game 7 on Sunday.
Look.
It's pay as you go for me. And if you saw my tweets the other day, which I wound up recently deleting, but they're not cheap tickets, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Where I sit, those are not cheap seats. And I'm like, please. I already have to shell out a crap load for the finals. I do not want to sell out a dime.
Let me ask you about that.
Right now, I'm looking at 6 Gs for the finals right now for 3 home games. If we've got 4 home games and face the Thunder, I'm looking at 8.
Yeah.
No more dates to the Cavs game for the finals. It's going to be sell one ticket, and then we'll use the other one for me.
Exactly. But, no. Let me ask you about that, because I've actually heard that a few different times now, and the conversation comes up. Well, the NBA wants to go 7 because they can sell more Pepsi commercials.
It's BS. Whoever wins wins. If the NBA wanted the Warriors to win yesterday, there was no freaking way on the planet the Warriors would have won last night. They sucked.
Or did the Thunder play well?
Don't forget. Let's take a look back at this.
Tim Donaghy.
Do you think the NBA wanted a Dwight Kobe series back in 2009? No. They wanted LeBron Kobe. Are you kidding me? They ran every single ad possible. Remember Sprite. Remember Nike. Ran every single ad possible to have Kobe versus LeBron in the finals, and it never happened. The NBA does not dictate who goes to the NBA finals. It's a load of crap. Okay? The NBA did not want Celtics-Lakers 2 years in a row. Trust me. They wanted Cavs-Lakers. They wanted Kobe-LeBron. Not a rematch of what happened a year earlier.
Huh. Well, we're looking at a potential rematch this year with the Warriors and the Cavs.
The NBA does best when LeBron is in the championship. They don't even want the chance at the Raptors against OKC in the finals. It'd be terrible. Cavs OKC is fine because LeBron versus Durant makes a great storyline and it'll bring high viewership.
I was just getting ready to say that.
It doesn't matter whether the NBA needs Cleveland in the championship. Toronto is not a small market city. In the United States, they are. But let's not forget, Toronto is the 3rd largest media market. Not media market. They're the 3rd largest city in North America. Media markets are very small because nobody in the United States cares about them, and they get very little. Exposure. They're very rarely on ESPN in the regular season. This is a team that finished 2nd in the Eastern Conference.
Wait a second. Hold on. You're talking about the continent of North America with even
Toronto is the 3rd largest city behind New York and Los Angeles.
What's number 4 and 5?
Chicago and Houston.
What after that? You know all this weird stuff, by the way. I think you missed your calling. You probably played Sim City growing up like I did, and you.
My mom told me if I ever failed at life, I could become a triptych coordinator for AAA.
Captain Obvious, yeah, you'd be a triptych coordinator. That's
my
pretty good.
My nickname in the Arizona athletic department was Google.
Give me something that they would ask you to Google when you were in Arizona. Like, what's the weirdest one you remember?
I'll never forget. This is one time. Ludolfin comes up to the front desk at the equipment room, asks for something. The associate athletic director of equipment, Wendell Neal, has no clue what the answer is. I look at him, and don't forget, this is 2006. This is before everything was readily available on the internet. You could look stuff up, but it wasn't like it is now. We didn't have the smartphones. We had BlackBerries with 1G internet. And I still had a flip phone. I had a Razor at the time. And I'm sitting there, and I answer the question. They look it up. They're like, there's no way that's the answer. I don't even remember what the question was. It was so stupid and so obscure. And I knew the answer. I don't even know how I knew it. And they look it up, and they just go, Wendell Neal looks at me and just goes, you know what? I'm not calling you Zach anymore. Your new nickname's Google. And Lute Olson looks at me and goes, Google, go get me a sweatshirt from in the back. And so after that, my nickname for the next 4 years was Google in the athletic department.
Wow. That set the tone real quick.
People used to come to me and ask me the stupidest questions with the stupidest answers. And I'm not kidding.
Okay,
For
I
you.
got one for you. One has been submitted from our friend Greg Moore. He's submitting a stupid question. He wants to know who those two guys are that keep sitting courtside. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yes, I do. So that is a Toronto super fan. You're talking about the guy who wrote his Magic Carpet.
Wait, if I missed that, what does he look like?
He's wearing a turban like every other Raptors fan who was in the stadium tonight.
Yes, the two fellas that sit courtside with the turbans.
I'm walking behind, so I know these kids. These are opposite the Raptors bench. So I'm walking by the Raptors bench tonight at the game, and I see the girl I'm with. She goes, "Why are all the Raptors fans wearing towels on their head?" And I was like, "They're all wearing turbans. They're all ethnic." I go, "You don't see any black Raptors fans. You rarely see any white Raptors fans. All of them are Indian or Middle Eastern. Every single one of them. Or Asian.
Wow. Really?
Every single one of them at the game tonight. I don't think I saw one white Raptors fan."
Well, that's an interesting demographic point of interest about Toronto.
Not one white or black Raptors fan. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, literally, I was like, I didn't see one. And I kept saying to myself, like, the other night, for game 2, I saw a couple.
Okay.
You know, I got in the elevator in my building. My building is also partially a hotel.
Wait, did you switch to the next place, or is it the place I remember?
I'm over on to the next place. It's not the 9 anymore. I am across the street.
Gotcha.
So, at newer building, another hotel, residence, nicer building. So, although my old apartment was sick, you were up there.
True story.
You were in apartment number 1. You weren't in apartment number 2, one of the penthouses, which was even better. But they were both cool apartments.
Oh yeah, I must have missed number 2.
Number 2 was incredible. I like my new apartment. The view's not as good, but overall for one person, I live alone now. It's nicer.
But you were saying about the elevator. You got in the elevator.
So I get in the elevator the other night, and these Raptor fans get in there and they go, "Oh man, you guys Cleveland fans are mean." And I was like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, you guys are mean." I was thinking, we in Toronto, we wouldn't do that to you guys. And then her 8-year-old son looks at me and goes, "A guy behind us called Patrick Patterson an idiot." And I'm like, and I go, "Oh my God, an idiot?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Wow." Like, really
whoa.
Sarcastic and drunk.
Okay.
Really sarcastic and a little drunk, but I couldn't help myself.
Well, I mean, that's a hilarious story. He said he was an idiot. Wow. Have you ever been to a Browns-Ravens game?
Out of all things, I was like, I'm expecting something super racist. I'm expecting something terrible.
I know you're like cringing. You're like no.
I'm like, oh God, please don't be anything horrible. And I hear idiot, and I'm like, really idiot?
I might still have
coming from an 8-year-old.
I might still have tears in my eyes, crying, doubled over in laughter if that had happened with me. That is an awesome back and forth exchange. And who better than Zak Baris with the triptych specialty? Hey Zach, what's your favorite meal in let me pick an obscure city. Oklahoma City. I know how big a fan you are there. When you were in Oklahoma City, where did you like to eat?
Arby's.
What about with the Trailblazers? What about in Portland?
Portland's a couple good restaurants. I don't remember the name of it. There were some damn good breweries that I ate at that were really good. I've only been to Portland twice.
Good hipster joints?
And neither one of them was actually to watch a Blazers game. I was in for the Nike Hoop Summit. So those are the only 2 times I've been to Portland. I was at catered dinners.
What about Phoenix?
Phoenix? My favorite spot there is Don and Charlie's.
What's it called?
Don and Charlie's. It's a good old barbecue spot by Old Town Scottsdale, where they have tons of memorabilia. You get a 5-course meal. It's a great spot. I love Don and Charlie's.
What about Charlotte?
Charlotte? So, Charlotte has a couple good places downtown. Charlotte has, I'm trying to think of the barbecue place. It wasn't that great. I'm trying to think of a couple. There's a great sushi spot downtown about a block from the Ritz in the West and down there. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's a great Japanese spot. It's about a block away from the Ritz. It's an incredible spot. Discovered just walking around downtown Charlotte. Max Speed Shop is another good barbecue spot down there, now that I'm thinking of the name. Max Speed Shop.
And I'm bringing some of these up because you're talking about being the triptych coordinator. I just heard that the Cleveland not House of Blues, the Hard Rock Cafe is closing down. Is that a big loss for the city?
No, it's not a big loss for the city. I couldn't even tell you who goes there. There's so many new restaurants opening up right now. It's insane downtown. There are new restaurants, there's new hotels, there's new everything opening up. I mean, downtown is cleaned up. You'll see it when you're here, if you're here for the RNC in a couple of weeks, like in a month and a half.
Exactly.
And I'm just telling you, downtown's cleaned up. I had some buddies over at Recon in Vegas this week, which is the real estate convention, and they've officially announced, Stark has announced they're building Nucleus. They're building 3 towers downtown, all over on Euclid, right by East 4th. So, that'll be a big jump start to the city. But, I mean, everything's been going real smoothly down here. It's actually, I'm actually having a lot of fun in downtown.
That's awesome. I know another buddy that just moved back. He'd been in Chicago for years and years, and he just came back, and he's so happy to be out of that hellhole. He couldn't stand it.
I just wouldn't raise a family in Chicago. I mean, I know Chicago well enough where, at the point where I was, let's put it this way, where I was traveling back there by the week. And it was at the point where, I love Chicago. I do. But it's not a place I'd want to raise a family.
Yeah, I mean, you probably spent more time in Chicago than anywhere outside of Cleveland, right?
Other than LA, yes. In Arizona, in my tenure, but yes. Other than LA and Arizona, I've spent more time in Chicago than in the other cities.
How many years were you over there with the Bulls?
A year and a half.
Gotcha. Anyway, I digress. I've been to Chicago. I really liked it out there, but you look every day on the news, someone else is getting killed, and you go, this is just insane.
That's also on the south side. It's not the north side. It's like reading the news every day here in Cleveland. You go, oh, man, someone got shot at East 154th Street. I can't tell you the last time I've been over to East 154th Street. I'm being honest. You hear about all these shootings. You hear about all these murders. They're in East Cleveland. When they say on the east side of Cleveland, it's not Shaker Heights. It's not Cleveland Heights. It's the east side of Cleveland. It's East Cleveland.
So
it's not even Euclid, for that matter.
All right. Let's move away from the triptych thing and get back real quick. So the guys sitting courtside, they're known as a super fan. Is that like a thing?
So that guy's known as a super fan. He's at every single Raptors home game during the regular season.
I'm sorry, that shows how little I watch the Raptors during the regular season. I apologize.
If you ever just tune into SportsCenter, the odds when the Raptors are actually on SportsCenter, that 5% chance they even make it on SportsCenter, he is on there every single game. He sits behind the basket.
Does he have a name? Is he like a part of the, is he like a kind of...
I'm sure it's something close to Aladdin or Hafiz, something like that.
Okay, it's all right. Well, that answers Greg's question. Let me ask you a question about on the court, not sitting by the court or eating before you get to the court.
Yes.
Kevin Love, what changed for him and what was off for him for the past 2 games?
You know what? It's, you ask yourself sometimes, why do these guys look like this on the road? And why do they play a totally different game at home? I can't answer that. I really can't answer that. I don't know why. It makes no sense to me. But, let's take a look at Tristan and Kevin over the last 2 games. Before going to tonight, being games 3 and 4, they looked absolutely horrendous. Bismack Biyombo looked like the next Dennis Rodman.
He looked incredible. I thought that was going to become the Tim Biaka Batuka, the guy you never heard of before, and then you just hate the name so much because they beat you.
And what happened tonight, though, against, Bismack Biyombo's name wasn't even heard of after the first 2 minutes of the first quarter.
Nope, not at all. I think Tristan
shut him out.
him.
It was a totally different game. It is totally different. And you know what? I was very worried going into tonight's game about Bismack Biyombo. How are they going to stop him? I said the best thing that can happen is Jonas Valanciunas comes back tonight, and they give Valanciunas serious minutes, which they did, because they were getting their butts kicked already. But, that was the one thing that really worried me early on, was going, if Biyombo gets serious minutes and he keeps playing like he has been, he's got that confidence. I seriously think bringing Valanciunas back in the lineup hurt them tonight. Although he wasn't playing early, but it's just the thought of having him there. Although he's a better body and during the regular season been a much better player, Valanciunas had a PER of over 22 during the regular season. An incredibly efficient player during the regular season. But, Biyombo's coming to his own. Usually it hurts a guy's confidence when you see a guy come back from injury. You see a guy blossom and he comes back and you're like, okay, we're going to trade that other player because this player is so good. That's what happens a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I think Bismack Biyombo has had an incredible series against the Cavaliers. I wouldn't even thought about bringing Valanciunas in tonight. I wouldn't even thought about it because I think it really hurt Biyombo's confidence.
I would say if they were down 3-0, sure. But if you're coming on the heels of just tying the series 2-2 against, LeBron James, who's been to 6 straight of these conference finals and 4 straight championship games, if you're on the heels of getting something right, why would you change it? If you were in dire straits and you need a Hail Mary, you need a half-court shot to have a chance, I would understand it. I think you make a great point.
This was the Raptors' shot tonight to just go ahead and take advantage. Cleveland, I mean, you saw LeBron. LeBron and Kyrie and Love and Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson, none of those guys were, and JR too. None of them were having any of it. They know they just got their butts kicked on the road. They threw it behind them, and that's what damn good teams do. They threw it behind them and say, listen, we're coming back. We're going to win this series. And that's exactly what they did tonight. They came back and made a statement. I mean, this team was up by 31 at the half.
That set a record. That's the largest. That's the largest record, largest lead of any team in the Eastern Conference Finals in the history of Eastern Conference Finals. That's kind of impressive.
Again, it was they murdered Toronto tonight. It was never even a competition. Out of the gate, the Cavaliers were up by 10 points within 3 minutes. Within 3 minutes tonight, Brian, they were up by 10 points. They had a double-digit lead. And never looked back. That lead never shrunk.
Jeez. It was a fun one to watch.
The lowest they got was the 2015, and then by the time they were up 27-16. Toronto came back from a little bit, and the Cavaliers took an 11-point lead, never looked back after that in the middle of the first quarter.
I mean, it was a beautiful thing. Talk about LeBron James as the floor general. It's so easy to do some of these things and just bypass the greatness and the consistency and the toughness and the poise. I mean, LeBron brings every intangible you could imagine. Talk about what you've seen out of him so far.
That's why having a player like LeBron differentiates the Cavs from the Raptors. It doesn't matter if LeBron can't shoot for a game. LeBron has so many other elements to his game defensively, what he can do passing the ball, rebounding the ball. He has so many elements to his game that guys like DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry don't have.
And he's not a perfect player, and that's where people tend to give him a little bit of grief. But there is no more complete player.
Don't forget, Kobe won 5 rings. Kobe was not a perfect player.
He's
had a lot of incidences where he was not perfect.
And he's a far less complete player than LeBron James.
LeBron is playing in a much more competitive era. Let's not forget that. Kobe won 3 of his championships in a very non-competitive era. It just was what it was. There were not a lot of good teams in the NBA when Kobe won his first 3. When he won his next 2, total credit. Total credit. His first 3 championships, though, were against the easiest teams from the East. There wasn't a ton of competition other than one conference finals against the Blazers. There just wasn't a ton of competition in the NBA after Jordan left. There were some really bad drafts. Go take a look at those 3-4 drafts in a row where there was very little talent in the league.
Yeah.
This is what it is. And, really there were basically 6 or 7 drafts in a row where there wasn't a lot of talent.
That's rough. I mean, those are the Anthony Bennett years times 6.
I mean, don't forget, we're looking at Michael Olave-Tandy was the number 1 pick, worse than Anthony Bennett, or just as bad. That's how bad it was. We're looking at an era that was that bad, and it just is what it is. There are times when the league goes through that and there's not a lot of talent. We're very fortunate now where we see talent keep pumping into this league. We've got guys like Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram coming into the league next year. By the way, Ben Simmons is working out and living in Cleveland right now. I was sitting on a run yesterday on the East 9th Street Pier downtown, and I'm running, and I go, wow, that looks like a lot like Ben Simmons. I keep seeing him in every Cavs game. I turn around, I stop for a second. Ben Simmons is fishing on the East 9th Street Pier. He's there every night.
Is
he
with
LeBron? Early every night fishing on the East 9th Street Pier.
So why is he there? He's with LeBron's team, or what? How's that?
He's training with Clutch Sports. He's training at Cleveland State. He's living in Cleveland right now. Yes.
Very interesting. Is he the clear number 1?
I don't think so at this point. I mean, is Brandon Ingram probably a better fit with Philly? Yes. Is Brandon Ingram a better shooter? Yes. And if this is the whole Melo LeBron argument again, was LeBron with a way higher ceiling than Carmelo Anthony? Yes, there's no doubt. But was Carmelo Anthony a guaranteed All-Star coming out of the draft in 2003? Yes, there was no doubt. He was a guaranteed All-Star coming out of that draft. That's why it still baffles me to this day that Detroit took whatever his name is, Darko Milicic, over him, because Darko Milicic has that Kristaps Porzingis potential. All they needed was Carmelo Anthony, and they would have won 3 more rings.
Oh,
Detroit
man.
literally didn't have anyone that could score.
I have a few people that are Pistons fans, Detroit fans. You're so right about that. But that was an extra pick. They got lucky in the lottery.
But the thing is, if Joe Dumars wasn't so incredibly cocky with the Darko workout, they would have wound up again with Carmelo Anthony or Dwayne Wade or Chris Bosh. Even if they would have taken Bosh, I guarantee you they would have won a couple more rings. They did not have anyone that could score. One of the reasons the Cavaliers whooped them in 2007, I know the Cavaliers won in 6 games, but the Cavaliers won 4 in a row in that series.
They just had nobody that could put the ball in the hoop. It's that easy.
Nope, that was the problem. Literally, the Cavaliers were not a good basketball team. They had LeBron, and that was it. Everybody knew that. The Cavs were not that good. I mean, let's go
They
and watch
were
the
okay.
series in San Antonio again.
They
They were
were
not that good. They won 50 games. They were not that good.
They were good. They weren't enough to win a title, but they were enough to win the East.
They were good. They weren't that good.
Well, that was LeBron peaking.
That's what I'm getting at. They weren't that good. They were good, but not that good.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm getting at.
that was LeBron playing hero ball. Man, what was it, 27, 24, 27 straight points that he scored? Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know what we're getting out of
I think it was
LeBron.
25. I think it was 25.
What about Kyrie and Channing Frye? They're also knocking it down, and JR. What about those three? What are we getting out of them during this run?
I mean, you're getting a lot right now out of them. I mean, Kyrie's turning into a superstar. Kyrie had one bad game in the series. Kyrie's blossomed into a star in this playoffs.
I think so.
He's been nothing short of fantastic.
He has been for a few years with the MVP, the 3-point shooting, he's been a very good player, but nothing like he is now.
I literally wanted to punch someone the other day when they go, we could have had Wiggins. I go, you think Wiggins would be doing this for the Cavs right now? Wiggins is on a 26-win basketball team last season.
I still hear the Wiggins. After 2 losses in a row, I hear about Wiggins. That's how on edge we are.
Kevin Love went 6 for 6 shooting on field goal for 6 of 6. 3 of 3 from 3-point with 19 points in the first half. 19 points on 6 shots in the first half. Yeah, I'd like to see Andrew Wiggins do that. Yeah. Okay. Kevin Love may have had 2 bad games, but Kevin Love is still Kevin fucking Love. He put up 19 points on 6 shots in the first half. It's incredibly efficient.
I'm glad his ankle's okay. I was worried that was such a weird play.
I'm not even going to get started with this argument that Andrew Wiggins is better than Kevin Love.
Well, and Wiggins is young. He's more inexperienced than Kyrie Irving, and Kyrie Irving is just now learning it. And hey, for that matter, Kevin Love's done a few more things, for a few more years, but he hasn't had success. Maybe with the Olympic team, but this is new for Kevin Love too. They're learning from LeBron.
I mean, yeah, they are. So this is a team. I'm telling you right now, mark my words. They're destined for greatness this season. I'm telling you. And if they get OKC in the finals or Golden State, if they get, we're still not past Toronto yet. You can't overlook Toronto. You still have Game 6 in a tough environment in Toronto to play. I'm not saying you're going to win it. I'm not saying you're going to lose it, but it's still tough. You got to win one out of the next 2. Toronto's got to win them both. It's much harder on Toronto at this point. Toronto's not a good road team in the playoffs. They are not.
Yeah, a Game 7 would be terrifying.
I don't even know if Toronto's run a road game this playoffs. I think they've won 1 against Indiana. I think they won 1 road game.
Well, tell me about their...
Oh, no, you know what? They won 2. They won 1 in Miami. They won 2 road games.
Well, why do their superstars... Why do they disappear for entire games? It seems like we've seen that back
DeMar
and forth.
DeRozan's always been notorious for doing it. Kyle Lowry's been doing it his whole career. It just happened.
No biggie. Just that's how... They're inconsistent.
Yeah, it's just inconsistency. That's what happens, and it's hard to overcome it. They don't have the depth, and they don't have the roster the Cavs have. They don't have a true superstar. They have some very good players, but I don't consider DeRozan or Lowry a superstar. They're all-stars. There's a different level. The Cavaliers have 2 superstar players on their team and an all-star.
What about Channing Frye? How amazing of a run is he on with the threes?
Channing Frye's been incredible. I told you that when we traded for him at the deadline. This is what you're getting in Channing Frye. You're getting a guy who has been, who's been underexposed in Orlando because he just hasn't been getting the playing time as you're going with the youth movement. Channing Frye, this is exactly what I said at the trade deadline, was going to give the Cavs this extra element to be able to take the ball out of the perimeter, shoot the 3, and be able to put in the lineup of got 5 guys shooting the 3 at once.
He is thriving right now.
He gives the Cavaliers a whole other dimension on offense, which I said would scare off Golden State. I don't even know if we're going to be facing the Warriors.
Okay, let's get to it. How in the world has this happened with the Thunder?
The Thunder right now are playing so well. Don't forget, I saw a stat today. The first period of the season, the first 78 games between the Warriors and the Spurs, they went 70-8. Okay? 70-8.
Wow.
Over the last 9 games, OKC has beaten the Spurs and the Warriors 7 out of 9 times.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City finally looks like they do on paper. I mean, I told you this last week. When the Spurs lost, I was thankful. I said there's no way San Antonio could have kept up with Golden State. Steph Curry, a non-100% Steph Curry, cannot keep up with 100% of Russell Westbrook. It's just impossible.
Is there a human being alive that can keep up with Westbrook?
I wouldn't. That's the thing, though. Anyone who's not 100%, even if Curry is 100%, Westbrook right now is better.
But even saying that, you watch Russell Westbrook, and it's like he has that turbo boost. You know, like that Mario Kart. You hit the mushroom.
So fast, and when he and Durant can turn, don't forget. The Thunder won by 20 points last night, or even more than that. And Durant and Westbrook shot a combined 39% from the field. And they still blew them away. That's how well OKC is playing on. I think we've seen a different OKC team. This isn't the OKC team that lost by 35 points to the Cavs in the regular season. I still don't believe OKC has anybody that can guard LeBron James, which is their problem and always has been their problem, which is why they've never beaten LeBron. So, if I'm the Cavs, I'd rather face Oklahoma. I mean, here's the thing. If I'm the Cavs, do I want to face a Golden State team that's going to win 3 straight against the Thunder with all that momentum going into the finals? No. I want to face an Oklahoma City team that beats Golden State at this point. Although I think the Cavaliers could beat Golden State. I do at this point. I really do.
Yeah, it's amazing how you can swing from losing 2 in a row to looking so good. Absolutely blowing out Toronto tonight.
Especially if we get home court throughout the finals.
I mentioned that in my intro. That is an enormous possibility with them being up 3-1. And having home court. Oh, I don't think there's a sport where home field advantage or home court advantage means as much as in basketball.
No, I don't even think in baseball it means as much. In football, it doesn't mean as much. I think basketball means more than anything. Look at teams' home records in basketball. It means the most out of anything.
Yeah.
I think it's the most meaningless in hockey, though, overall. But getting the home court in basketball means everything. It means the world. I mean, don't forget, we saw the Spurs almost go undefeated at home. Being at home is a totally different element in the game. And
yes.
I mean...
Oh, there you go. Wait, I think we're losing you. Nope. Okay, I think we got you.
No, I'm here.
Gotcha.
I'm here.
Okay, hang on. Let me steer it into a slightly different direction then. What percentage do you think Steph Curry's at with his health? Where do you think he's at right now?
I don't care where he's at. I mean, let's put it this way. Game 2, you're going to tell me he's at 70%. He's at 100%. Now he's back down to 70. Look what Steph Curry did in Game 2. It's not an excuse. He came back. They got their butts kicked. They lost in Game 1. They won in Game 2 because Steph Curry was unbelievable. And they got their asses kicked in Game 3 and 4. I'm not going to blame it on Curry's health. He's just been off. It's what happens when you don't play every night.
Well, and don't forget he was off during those first 2 games with the Cavs last year.
Don't forget, this is a Golden State team. It took 6 games to beat Cleveland last year without Kevin Love and without Kyrie Irving. And they had literally no depth. Were the Warriors the best team ever last year? No. I mean, that's what I wasn't getting. I'm like, okay, you're telling me that a healthy Cavs team couldn't beat this team?
It would be nice to get a chance.
Draymond's the dirtiest player in the league. I hate the guy.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, let's stop everything right there. Draymond Green, what happened with the non-suspension? Break that down.
Honestly, I think the NBA wanted the Golden State to tie up the series. There is no excuse for not suspending Draymond.
Wait, I thought you said the NBA doesn't do things to skewer the likelihood of a certain team advancing.
I'm saying the refs. I'm saying the overall D&D, Adam Silver looked at it as a nightmare if Draymond was suspended. A nightmare.
Yeah. You think it should have been a combination between or a consideration between 1 and 2 game suspension, maybe 1 game? What did you think?
I thought it should have been 1 game suspension. It should have been given. If Dante Jones gets suspended for hitting Bismack Biyombo in the balls, I mean, give me a break.
Bismack Biyombo balls. That's a interesting phrase right there. Yeah, they hit. Obviously it wasn't one of the Cavs superstars by any chance, but if you do the crime, you pay the time. And as a libertarian or with someone who holds a lot of libertarian political philosophical beliefs, if you're not doing harm to somebody else, then there's really just let people do their thing if you're not causing harm to somebody else. But that pay the fee, man. Have you ever seen a basketball player make a basketball play where they kick up in a direction like that accidentally or as follow through?
No.
It's
And
ridiculous.
Draymond's done that multiple times this year. That's not an accident. It's just not.
It's just incredible.
It's not an accident.
Well, maybe it'll be beautiful watching them go down. Then let's talk about the height and the size as we start kind of winding this down here, Zach. Let's talk about the height and the size of the Thunder. Do you think this Cavs roster was exclusively built to take on the Warriors, or do you think it can
I
be?
think no. When you're trying to win a championship, you cannot just build a team to beat one team. You need to be multidimensional, and this is what this Cavs team is. If we've witnessed anything from this Cavs team, the only team they've struggled against this season were the Warriors. If anything, the only team they've literally struggled against were the Golden State Warriors. That's it.
Well, I think they were struggling against themselves for a lot of the games, to be honest.
I think that was it too. But adding Channing Frye has been a totally different dimension for this team. I said that when we got him. And people are going, oh, my God, we gave up Anderson Varejao. I go, Varejau's been done. It's not even close. Varejau's been done for, first season, first season now, almost 2 seasons. It was, Varejao is not doing so great in Golden State. Channing Frye gives this team an entirely different element. What they do offensively when Channing Frye is out there is astonishing.
He's
hitting good they are.
He's hitting 2 out of 3 3-pointers that he takes.
He has been the most efficient player, and he is the second highest-rated PER in the NBA playoffs so far this season.
Goodness.
Throughout the playoffs.
Goodness gracious. Well,
Behind LeBron at number 1.
Well, we're sure paying him enough to do it.
He's worth every penny of $8 million a year. Every penny.
Well, no. It's because of the luxury tax that we had to pay.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't even matter. Well, they got rid of Varejao, so it's technically a lower luxury tax if you actually think about that.
Oh, okay.
But what Channing Frye adds with his game is a completely different dimension to this offense. Don't forget, Varejao wasn't doing anything anymore. Channing Frye is sitting out there, going out there, draining almost every single shot he takes. It's pulling people outside of the paint like a guy like Bismack Biyombo. That's how we watched the Cavaliers climb it back in the Game 4 and run the same play 11 straight times, a backdoor screen.
Delly's really good at running some of these plays. And I think the Cavs, I would love to see the Cavs run more pre-planned plays. When they come out of, they take a timeout and there's 1 second left and they do the cross-court pass to Kyrie shooting the 3 falling into the corner. I see more alley-oops and wide-open shots. And, I really wish the Cavs... They seem really good at the rehearsed and practiced plays.
And that's what they're great at. You have some of the most talented players in the league. Look how good Richard Jefferson has been for this team.
Talk about Richard Jefferson. I am impressed as hell.
I told you again in the offseason, when they picked him up, I thought it was a huge move. The guy can still ball.
I didn't know he still had that much in the tank. Straight up.
Yeah, I've seen the guy. He can still ball. I think it's pretty evident from what we've seen from this playoff so far that the guy can still play.
And by the way, he's amazing on Instagram too, right?
He's great on everything.
Snapchat.
That's Snapchat.
Snapchat.
But he adds another again. He's been fantastic. Don't forget last year the Cavaliers didn't have Channing Frye. They didn't have Richard Jefferson. They didn't have Kyrie Irving. They didn't have Kevin. They're a different team.
They really are a different team. And when the guys have a little bit more opportunity to play with each other, the familiarity of that is going to make a big difference, especially when you work in and factor in the experience of veterans like Fry and Jefferson, and then you take into account everything LeBron James has been through, and it's going to do nothing but improve the players around him, Kyrie and Kevin and Channing and JR. JR snapped out of it. Maybe this could be the last question for you, Zach. What was the importance of the Cavs playing aggressive defense and trapping the ball? I think that to me, I felt like it was the number one reason why they came out the way that they did and played the way that they did.
I mean, the Cavaliers just got off to a hot start tonight. It was it, and they took the momentum right from the start. The crowd was so loud. I mean, from what I was hearing on Twitter, it said the crowd was not loud. Again, that building was as loud as can be, and I've been to a lot of NBA arenas. That was loud in there tonight. I will tell you that.
Well, I'll say from watching at home, it didn't seem that loud.
I don't know if the acoustics don't just pick up in that arena because it was a very high roof. But I'm telling you, being down on the court level, 5 rows off the court, it was very, very loud in there. Very loud. I couldn't hear myself. I couldn't hear the person next to me. It was that loud at one point.
Wow. Okay. Well,
it's loud.
That's the type of stuff that you're just.
Trust me, I've been to the United Center. I've been to a lot of different NBA arenas. Last night, tonight was very, very loud.
Okay, so there's Cleveland's no representing.
What?
Cleveland's representing. We're doing it right.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think they're doing it right. I think it was very loud tonight. They did a good presentation. It was a good job. It was, they played it's funny. I get there. I'm at the game tonight. Got there a little early tonight, a little earlier than I usually do. And in my seat before the national anthem for the first time all playoffs. I usually get there right during the national anthem. I'm usually but I'm there tonight a little bit earlier. And they played the video of LeBron coming home last season, that Nike commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Together. And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at my day, and I go, I got the chill so bad in the place. And she goes, you did? And I go, yes, so bad. And they played it again. I got the chills, and I'm like, okay, this is so reminiscent of a year and a half ago. I was like, they got this. And I'm just sitting there watching this video, and I go, they got this. I'm not worried. They got this. LeBron's sitting there watching the video. The whole team's sitting there watching. They're all in.
Hold on. All the team was. So was this like a big deal?
This was right after the anthem. They were playing it right after the national anthem. The whole team was on the floor.
Oh, so right after the anthem, they played it for the entire audience. Okay.
Yeah. It was, and you're sitting there going, there's no way they're going to lose this game tonight. There's absolutely 0% chance they're going to lose.
I would have loved, and that's why I went to go see the band Muse. To just see a sold-out Staples Center screaming, no one's going to take me alive, the time has come to make this right. You and I must fight for our lives, you and I must fight to survive. And to just see an entire filled Staples Center in that live environment, you can't recreate that. I would have loved to be there when they played that. But I'm sure wherever they hold their celebrations, if they are going to be so fortunate enough to make it to the finals and bring home the title to Cleveland after all these years, during the year that Believeland airs, I'm sure we'll have a chance to see it again in front of a lot of people. Well, Zach, thank you again, man, for jumping on the program. Glad you got to be there for a really kick-ass game tonight. And
Brian, hopefully you can join me for the finals in 2 weeks or a week.
Hang on. I just might be able to make that happen, sir. Let's talk.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, let's talk, shall we? Okay, I got to put that on my calendar. And anyway, Zach, thanks so much for your time. Give us your final prediction in the last 10 seconds here. In the next game, Game 5, Warriors, Thunder, what happens?
I think, I don't know, man.
5 seconds.
I'm going to just take OKC.
OKC. All right, calling his shot. OKC, Zak Baris. Follow him on Twitter. He's at ZBaris. That's ZBaris. And I want to thank you all for checking out the Unhappy Hour here at The New American Media. Subscribe, youtube.com/The New American Media. Go to thenewamericanmedia.com. On Twitter, we're at American_media_. Check out our Instagram. It's killer. And we'll talk again soon. Go Cavs. Peace.
And this is John B. Wells reminding you that not only is Brian Engelman a cool guy, and not only is the newamericanmedia.com a very cool platform, but here's a cool idea for you, too. Are you alone? Not really. Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? You do. Of course you do. Everybody does. One or the other, maybe even both. You know, there are a lot of dogs and cats that are at shelters right now, and if somebody doesn't take them home, they're going to wind up euthanized. That's a nice way of saying they're going to be killed, because there's simply not enough room. I guarantee it, the best dogs and the best cats, the best pets, come from shelters. There's something about dogs and cats. They know. They know where they are. You walk through one of them, and certainly at least one is going to look at you and go, I wish you'd take me home. I'm in hell. Please take me out of here. It'll be the best thing that you ever did for your soul. You'll feel good about it. And not only that, but you have a friend for life. Doesn't matter if you got money, you don't have money. Well, it doesn't make any difference to a dog or cat. All they need is the sound of your voice and maybe even the stroke of your hand, and they're fine. Maybe a little food every once in a while. The sweetest sound that those pets ever hear is your voice. Think it over and adopt a cat or a dog from a local shelter today. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did.